Deep down, I think they know that. That's exactly why they demonize our music and what we do. And listen, when it comes to, let's say, women's rights, all right, these people, you can see it on TV, are literally telling you that they're trying to take away women's rights to an abortion. Who are you, as a man who has a dick, can tell a woman what she can and cannot do? Listen, that should be a discussion for women, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm discussing it, but at the same time, it doesn't matter how I feel, it doesn't matter how you feel. That's a discussion for women and women only. You're not a woman. You don't know what it's like to be raped. You don't know what it's like what incest is. You will never know what it's like to have somebody who violated you or hurt you in that way now are forcing you to have their kid. Okay? Okay. Like I said, honestly, in my opinion, I think if you support, if you say, well, life starts at conception and it doesn't matter if you were raped or not, to me, like I said before, to me, you're a rape apologist. Basically, you're supporting rape. It is what it is. But, I mean, at least I know that now. But, you know what I mean? But also, we gotta teach young men, in my opinion, we also should teach young men, they're not entitled to sex. Okay? Same thing with women. Women, you're not entitled to sex either. If a man says no, that's a no. Alright? And listen, I'm a big advocate for, for sexual health and all that. And I'm a big advocate for women, making their own choices, whether I agree with them or not. You know what I mean? Because women are just as equal, because I do believe women are equal to men. But at the same time, if you're going to be equal to us, you also can't treat us like second-class citizens either. Because you can't be, it's right for one gender, then it's wrong for another gender. You can't be like that. So, because I do see a lot of feminists treating men like second-class citizens. You can't treat men like second-class citizens and then expect equal rights. That's not how that works. It's like if a black person says, white people, should have their own. It's like if white people, it's like if a black person said, white people would get, the shitty water fountains, and black people get, the better water fountains and stuff like that. That's not good either. Okay, that's still racism. That's still, that's still segregationist talk. You know what I mean? It's the same thing. Just because, and like I said, I'm a sex positive. I'm a sex positive person. But, I don't think we should demonize sex as much as we do in this country. I'm very anti-religious. Very anti-religious. Because I don't believe religion is good for any society. But, if you want to do it, you can do it. I'm not going to stop you. But, But I'm just telling you how I feel and what it is. And I suggest for y'all men out there, educate yourself. Read a lot of sex positive feminist books. Educate yourselves. And read it and draw your own conclusions on it. Because trust me, you want to make your own conclusions on things, whether you agree with it or not. But I think there's something that we can all agree with. I don't think none of us wants to live in a George Orwell type of world where the government or religion or whatever tells us what we can and cannot do 24/7. That's why I don't like Muslim countries. That's why I don't like, That's why I don't like, majority. Listen, this is why I don't like the majority Muslim countries. This is why I don't like majority Israeli countries. I don't like majority Catholic countries. I don't like majority any of those countries. I don't. I'll just be real here. Because people like that will just oppose their beliefs and religion to everyone else, even though reality is staring them in the face and it is telling them, hey, what you're but you believe it's blatantly wrong, they won't care because their beliefs are their beliefs. That's why I don't like, that's why I don't like mostly religious societies, because most religious societies will basically censor or demonize the truth. But also, it's the same thing why I don't like the woke culture either. I don't like the woke culture because they're essentially also doing the same thing. They're demonizing the truth. Like, listen, I hate to say this, yes, men and women should have an equal playing field. You're right. But at the same time, you got to acknowledge the differences between men and women, because there are differences. Yes, we're equal. Yes, we should treat everybody equally. You're right. We shouldn't take away anybody's rights. And I don't like people, especially these new people who are talking about taking away women's rights. I don't agree with that. Okay? I don't agree with that at all. Because women are just as... Because, listen, women should also have the right have the right to get their voices heard just like any other man. And that's not an opinion. That's just a fact. And it's about time we start treating women like equals. But also women, you guys also treat men like equals as well. We gotta learn how to be respectful to one another. We gotta learn how to treat one another and actually have an open and honest conversation. Not argue, not yell at each other, not scream at each other like children. Be open and honest with each other. Okay? Let's be honest. Let's go outside, put down the phones, put down the computers. Okay? And actually go outside. Actually go outside into a community. Actually go outside and talk to men and talk to women. Okay? And, have them make their own choices and their own conclusions. Like I said, I don't really care what people do on their spare time or what type of music they listen to. What they do with their own spare time, that's their business. That's their business. You know what I mean? Like I said, I'm very, very anti-religion. Very anti-religion. But at the same time, if somebody wants to, preach the gospel or whatever, I'm not going to stop them. But at the same time, and people also have the right to basically say, oh, hey, what you're preaching goes against science or whatever. Or it goes against what we know. People have the right to do that. You know what I mean? So, yep. So, that's all I'm going to say. Always strive and look for the truth, gentlemen. Men and women. It doesn't matter if you're black, white, Arab, whatever. Always strive to look for the truth, the actual truth. You know what I mean? And actually look and be objective. And actually do actual statistics. Make sure, also look up the studies, how the studies were conducted, what groups that they tested on, how long did the research last, stuff like that. You know what I mean? And also, always fight for somebody's rights. Listen, like I said, I don't like religion. Actually, I despise most religions, like I said. But do I feel like people have the right to do them? Absolutely, because I'm a big advocate for free will. I will still fight for a religious person's right to speak or say what they want to say, even though I vehemently disagree with them. That's the point of living in a free country. Making your own choices, regardless of, making your own choices, as long as it's not hurting anybody, who cares, But yeah, I'm a big advocate for people making their own choices. Just like, I don't like, Like, I don't like, but I don't really like, people, getting drunk, but at the same time, if you want to get drunk, I'm not going to stop you. As long as you're not stupid, as long as you don't do anything stupid and drive while drunk, it doesn't matter. Like I said, I'm a big advocate for people doing what they want to do. Again, I'm for freedom of choice. But at the same time, oh, here's what I'm advocate for. I'm an advocate for as we can be as a freeing society as much as possible when it comes to most things. But when it comes to, like, say, things like, rape and murder, you know what I mean, or things that, or theft, I think we need to be a lot harsher on those things. You know what I mean? But also, I'm a big advocate for, putting funds in poor communities, give them better education systems, give them better teachers, better grants. You know what I mean? Have sex education regardless of what the parents say. Well, I want to teach. No, 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 no. If you're not teach, listen. If you don't want your kids to have sex education, you want to do it at home, then do it at home. But if he goes to this school, if he goes to this school, yes, we will teach sex education, and we'll have permission slips, for you and then we can just do permission slips. You know what I mean? You have permission for my kid to learn sex education. You know what I mean? Or not to learn sex education, which still should be the parent's choice. Because, like I said, I'm a big advocate for freedom of choice. Just like, that's like, I got the vaccine, for COVID. But at the same time, if people didn't want to get